Hello, this is Tatiana. I'm glad you are watching the second video class in this series where I explain how to get a better close-up and far vision. We cover the eye clarity without needing more glasses for everything, or regain a vision you might have lost for some reason, surgery or medication, in a natural and effective way. In the second video class, you will learn practices and tips for starting your visual improvement process or improvement of that person you love and want to help, regardless of type of vision problems, regard of the severity, from wearing glasses for any reason, until a disease considered incurable and progressive. Today, I'm going to tell you about the 5 great myths that you probably already heard that it's bad for your eyes, and we will also do a visual exercise in practice. We will use a random paper sheet with letters, or if you have a range, any sheet, book, magazine, for practice with you this exercise that instantly improves your focus. Finally, I'm going to release 1-hour vision training video to put yourself into practice by the end of this week and feeling the benefits of the method in your own eyes. So I ask you to keep ignoring my Portuguese accent just like you did in the first video class, so you can do it all here today, okay? But before I started, I would like you to pay close attention to this story.
I'm Margarita, I'm 69 years old. I was a teacher for 40 years in Areia, Paraíba. When I was around 7 I started look and test, one eye closed, one eye open, and one of them saw nothing. I had the illusion that everyone was like that, but once my brother told me that I was blind. So I went for an eye exam. I got to the doctor and he said he had a problem since I was born. One eye worked harder than the other. So I had myopia, astigmatism. So I started wear glasses since 7 years. And then it got worse and worse. And even the eye that was good also got worse. I went to the doctor and told him. I'm 69 years old, he said. Unfortunately my vision no longer heals. Your eye is like a balloon, which we blow and burst. You can't make a physical effort because your eye runs risk of bursting. So it was just one eye, just one, because the other didn't work, only one eye did all the work. He said there was no cure anymore and there was no lens either to increase more, it parked. And it went down, 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 and I started writing and get out of line but still able to write. But there came a time when I wasn't writing anymore. The sugar pot of coffee, I don't know, when I get the coffee I dump out of the bottle. I took the wrong medicine and fell into 2 holes in the street, unable to leave. My brother came to visit me and brought this holy soul. Hello, I'm Claudio de Soares, I'm a student of Dr. Tatiana Gebrail in Eagle Eyes. I came here in Paraíba, bring a friend of mine, and when I got here, he introduced me to his sister saying she was blind, and I asked some questions. And she told me that she can't see for a long time. And I taught her one of the exercises I did to stop wearing glasses. I made the first day without faith, I made the second, the third, and then in the 4th day, I started to feel my vision clearing, looking away then I saw. He told me to look at the clouds because of the distance, so I looked far away. You olhe para as nuvens perfectas, cristalinas. I started looking at the building and their windows. And one day I said to my son Tiago that I'm seeing. He said, "Thank God, Mum." We were finishing the novel and was going through the final letters. Seeing the names of the artists, and my son said, "Thank goodness." And he tested me to know if I was really seeing. He took a book and asked me to say the words, and I was able to see. My sister-in-law worrying when I walked the sidewalks, I said, "Let go, I can see the street." And to brag, I went ahead, I said I was ahead to guide them. My son was really happy for me. He was like, "I will tell Claudio, I will tell him." Binit, Margarita's sister, called me and said that a miracle happened. My sister starts C. And I didn't do all exercises, just look at the sun and loosen the neck, turn sides until the edge and back until the end, 10 minutes.
Até o final, voltar. Até o final, 10 minutos. Depois desses 10 minutos.
After this we do the shell, close the hand and put on the eyes and breath. Do you know this sewing needle? Before I couldn't see it, now I see her even if it falls to the ground. Today I go to the street, I go to the street, I walk on the sidewalks, I go up and I go down. Some people tell me that they saw my mum on streets. I can even believe in it, but now I do. She goes out to the bank, she reads the bank statement. The vision is the most precious thing in life. I'm very thankful to Claudio for what he did for me. I'm speechless.
Que uma pessoa fazer o que o senhor ter feito, eu não tenho palavra para lhe agradecer.
Dr. Tatiana is my guardian angel. If it wasn't for you, your kindness, what would it be for me? I would never achieve what I am achieving. First God, then you and Claudio and I.
E eu vou.
You see, inside home, a housewife, who is used to work hard, who is used to do things by her own. Given as a lost case, want to rebel, I don't revolt because of God. Where God is, we are happy. I trust God and I will end my life seeing.
You may have noticed that Lady Margarita, which by the way is my mother's name, came back to see even after being deceived by the doctors, being considered blind, even though she had a serious vision problem at an advanced age. It is possible, even in severe cases, to see again with the application of the method. So imagine if your problem is not as serious as hers. If you find it very difficult to lower your glasses or improve your eyesight after 40, then watch this whole video class, as you will see how I have already helped thousands of ordinary people with various visual problems to regain their vision. It is amazing to see how an amazing community is forming in a true revolution in visual health. I would like to thank you all the comments that I have already been left here on this page, and say thank you for the many shares. I'm really glad. It's fantastic. Thank you for helping me spread this message that you can see better. If you are here and have not seen your first video class yet, then I recommend watching, because then I show you why I call the conventional eye treatment pothole fill operation, and the reason why the eyes almost always get worse with this kind of approach. It also shows eye structures, some of the principles for naturally improving your vision, what habits and lifestyle cause eye problems, and what you can do to reverse this and have a good view for the rest of life. Yes, it is possible to regain your ability to see, to reduce the degree of glasses, to avoid surgery, to improve the sharpness of the distance and the near focus, to recover and enlarge the visual field, to decrease the internal pressure of the eyes, to eliminate the cataract, to decrease the cataract, minimize degeneration, restoring retinal health, balance both eyes, adjusting the lubrication of your eyes and their alignment. Yes, it is real. I will go until the end of this video class giving you valid tips to put in practice in your daily routine and get those results. I just want to make one thing very clear to you. It is very real, but it's not magic. It's not a magic pill that you take and then you are seeing better. It is a process of strengthening, which most of the time it's not long, but it's a process when you create better visual habits and practice exercise that will relax, stimulate, and balance your eyes. All natural and very effective, although some cases seems like a miracle, but it's not a miracle method, okay? Remember I told you in the previous video class, I, as a child, developed farsightedness, astigmatism, and strabism. I grew up with the increasing of eyeglasses, terrible migraines, and have glasses addiction. And after I got to know the method of natural visual improvement, I put in practice simple exercise and techniques in my running routine in the time, and totally improved light sensitivity, headaches, and reduced my dependence on glasses. Well, this transformation that method of natural vision enhancement causes in people's lives has enchanted me, and it was made me spend in the next few years of occupational therapy college my specializations and my master's degrees, devoting to study the method deeply, applying into practice with university hospital patients, and help those suffering from visual impairment. It was more than 5 years of student and research. I had done all the training and the specialization in the method of natural visual improvement, for the most basics to the most advanced, include part of this training in California, United States. When I returned to Brazil, I began to apply all this knowledge and practice in my office. I read as one of the qualified instructors of the method. I took it as a mission to help as many people as I can. And it didn't take long to start many success stories, and word spread that there was an effective treatment to improve vision problems. In 2011, I set up a volunteer exercise group in the city of São Paulo, where we practiced some of the basic technique exercise for anyone who wants to participate and learn, regardless of age or vision problem, and always trying to eat and help the largest number of people. I started to spread on the internet in videos the case of improvement of the people I attended in the office, and this had a great repercussion. I received emails and requests from people from all over Brazil and even from other parts of the world. And that was when I decided to turn out my knowledge and online courses and materials into videos that reached thousands of people. I realized that more than knowing how to do visual exercise, people needed a technique methodology that helps incorporate not only the exercise, but the health habits of visual in the routine of everyday life. And my experience as an occupational therapist helped me create a system that people could do exercise on workouts themselves at home, effectively put the method into practice, and improve vision. It was amazing to see the growth of this true family that sees well. And today we have thousands of students, millions of video views on my YouTube channel, and a team that continue to spread this information and help more and more people. And in this family, we've always had people from other countries who also seek to see better. And it also makes a big wish in my heart, but it also helps non-Portuguese speakers. So I struggle to learn new language and expanding the transformation to the world. Today, we also have students who speak Spanish and English. It is a huge joy every time you receive a testimonial from people from another country, because it shows that this effort is working. You might know me from the videos I post on the internet, lectures, symposiums. I'm really proud to be the person in the world who has helped more people with the method. I'm very happy for the repercussion for my work. But even helping so many people, still today, I'm thrilled with each story I receive, as if it were the first. And the one you see now is one of them.
July 2015 I had a retinal detachment. I started to see some flashes from the sides of the eye then. I went to the eye doctor and she found that I had a retinal detachment. So I set an appointment 15 days after and went to a surgeon. He told me it was a case that needed a surgical intervention. Then he came into the room. He had already changed clothes and he said, "Hi John, how are you? Fine, let's take the last assessment for us to go into surgery." Then he got up like that, and he pursed his mouth and stayed there for over 2 or 3 minutes like that. And then he put me on the stretcher, and at that moment I realized the whole situation, that I said I'm going to lose my sight. In the next week I came back taking the pills, all he had prescribed. And then he already notices another problem. It was a cataract that occurred due to the detachment surgery. Cataract is common after surgery, so it needs to do the cataract surgery too. But on the day 19 I was here and I started to feel something strange in my left eye. When I closed my eye I felt exactly what I had felt when I detached the retina. Which means, I was also having a retinal detachment also in the left eye. I told the doctor that I was feeling something weird and asked him take a look at my left eye. He said yes, it was taking off in my left eye, so let's have surgery already. When I got there on day 23 he looked and said it was done, there is nothing I can do, it really needed surgery. Surgery done, by late afternoon I was already released to go home. Which means, I was blind. And Marcia, instead of looking for something scientific, she was looking for something natural for me. And then she saw some videos of Dr. Tatiana and called me to watch too. Then there was the workshop and Dr. Tatiana started doing some exercises and I started doing some of these exercises. And when she opened the course in the morning we already entered her course. And then with the exercises I started to change my life, the way I lived I started to change completely. Eating, taking care of my health, taking care of the way I slept. When I returned to the doctor, he examined my cataract. The left eye cataract started to regress and then I was very happy. So with everything okay, it was getting results, I continued to do the exercises. And in my yard there was a box of Pepsi. Every day I passed by there from the box, it was at exactly the height of my eye. I saw a dark box and saw a clear spot. I saw that every day and every morning, in the afternoon. But in May I got very close and I clearly see the color blue and the white spot. I saw everything and I really confirmed the color of blue and white. If I can see the colors is because my eye is getting better, is acting. And then I was really happy. Today I have a totally different life, I got back confidence in my life. I regained confidence, even the doctor saying that I couldn't run again, I ran again. And my quality of life has improved a lot.
One of my life's missions is to generate more and more stories like the one you just watched. And I want to bring this transformation to all who need to and revolutionize the way we take care of our eyes. I think you'll notice in all the stories I showed here in this video and in the other stories that you have probably watched, there are many other videos recorded here in this same page that I recommend you to watch, okay? In all of them, people point some exercise and techniques to improve vision, and they follow a specific program to the vision problem they have. I will talk a little bit more about this while I tell you the 5 big myths about the health of your eyes that is being told until today. Do you think visual problems are caused by age? Is sun bad for our eyes? That eyes no longer develop after several years? It is the fault of genetics? Well, they give attention to what I'm going to show you now. Myth number 1. After 40, everyone will wear glasses. Age is a cause of vision problems. That's one of the biggest myths. The biggest cause of your vision problems is the bad habits we have in a modern life. Enclosed rooms, overload close-up vision, sleep in the bright rooms at night without using your peripheral vision, and hardly resting our eyes, or using our computer or a mobile phone or reading a book. I talk more about it and show how we overload the eyes muscles, the outer muscles and lens muscles in video class 1. But knowing that these lifelong bad habits lead to visual problems. And they usually happen after over 40 because your eyes are already too tired and overloaded. They started to fail since you spend a lot of your life taking care of them. A person over 40 who has had good habits and practices visual exercises won't probably need glasses. Not at 50, 60, 70, anyway. Will see well for the rest of his life because he exercised the muscles of his eyes the right way. Aging doesn't happen to be linked to illness. On the contrary, look at the cases of my students, late Yuka Vasconcelos and Ivone Pasta, who at 82 can read the teeny letters of the newspaper, and Edith Carvalho reading the small letters of the Bible without glasses. I want to show you now how it is possible for you. We are going to practice activating your focus now. And for that, we will use that paper sheet of letters that I asked you separate. First, take off your glasses or contact lens to practice with me now, okay? Look at these letters, even if they are blurry. Blink, breathe, and place the paper sheet about 12 inches or 30 centimeters from your eyes, okay? First, notice how your vision is now, and giving your eyes a time to get used to it without glasses or lens. Blink, breathe, and also relax the muscles of your forehead and jaw. We often associate reading with a state of stress and body tension, and that needs to change. So relax, release your body, and look without tension at these letters, okay? Now we will find which is your strongest eyes. Cover your eyes that way with your hand, one first and then the other, that way. One you can read less, which one you can read more. Leave the strongest cover, okay? No need to close or squeeze the eyes, just place your hand gently over it. If your weakest eyes has no vision, then you don't need to cover the strong one. Make both eyes up, okay? But if you can see the letters with the weakest eye, let's cover the strong with your hand and look at these letters with the weakest eye now. So blink and go around the letters with your eyes. Now, still the strongest eye cover, bring the sheet close and read the letters. It's weird and it seems everything is blurry, but keep it up. Blink and go look letter by letter. Now return the sheet to the normal position, still with the eye cover with your hand. Blink and look a little at the letters. Breathe and relax. Let's do it one more time. Bring the sheet close to your nose and read the letters very close. There we go. Really close. It's weird and seems everything gets blurry, but keep it up. Blink and go look letter by letter. Now return the sheet to the normal position. Still leave the eye covered with your hand. Blink and look a little at the letters. Breathe and relax. And then uncover the strongest eye and look at the letters. How are they now? What happens to most people is that now the letters are clearer and look bigger. If this happened to you, put it here in the comments for me. Tell me how your vision is after this simple and quick exercise, okay? If you haven't felt better yet, just repeat this exercise longer and maybe with more relaxation, okay? But 99% of people feel immediate results because they now work on the structures of their eyes, like gymnastics or weight training at all. To show you the age as well as not being a cause. It's not an impediment to your vision improvement even after the problem has already started. If you already wear eyeglasses, the decrease in degree can happen, as was the case with my student Gilson. You can compare how these eyeglasses after exercise take the degree away and then astigmatism and considerably decreases the degree to close in just 3 months of exercise. Just as cataract is not age-related either. Your lens can be moved by the ciliary muscles if you constantly tug your look near and far. Here's a tip to get you started. Look away at least 10 minutes a day away, blinking softly. As a result, you or the person you want to help can prevent cataract or regress if it is already present. Like the case of my student Edith Carvalho, who even after a surgical appointment, the ophthalmologist was surprised when he examined her eyes and noticed that the cataract had disappeared with the exercise. See the medical report of my student Sonia Maia, which attested that she had cataracts and now has normal vision in both eyes. I have students over 90 who come back to see, read, drive, and really, there are no limits when you exercise your eyes, no matter age. Another tip I give you and make a lot of difference to the recovery of my student Danila Safety, who stopped the macular degeneration and dried up the swelling of her macula, is look at the details. Don't look away from people's faces. Look at the details of the letters as you read, as we did in the exercise, for example. This can prevent you from aging and degenerating your macula, the region of your retina that sees the details. Danila can do everyday things today and see the face of her grandchildren. This is how my student Mario Wunder stopped taking eye injections with medication applications. He had already taken 33 injections and after the exercise managed to drain the edema and improved his vision to be a point the doctor stopped the injections. Before the exercise, he used to read the 48 computer font. And then he started reading the letter size 10, very small, without glasses and 73 years old. Myth number 2. The doctors knows more about you than you do. I'm not against a doctor or traditional medicines. Quite the contrary. Ophthalmologist has done and does a lot for us. And when you start the natural exercise method, you still go to the doctor usually. One thing doesn't replace the other. And I have ophthalmologists friends and doctors who admire and indicate my work. Some of them have even recorded interviews saying the importance of the natural method in my work. The point is, you may not think that only a doctor will solve your problem and that he knows more about you than you do. Neither you can think it, and don't let the doctor treat you as if you know nothing and simply make that appointment where you get out of there more confusion than when you come in, not understanding much of what he said or what happened with your eyes, simply accepting a glasses, a procedure, or a medicine, without even having a chance to give your opinion, to argue in the right meaning of the word. You or that person you want to help can no longer be mere patients who don't run their own bodies. Now you understand how the natural method helps you empower your health process. And another thing too, don't let anyone get you down and take away from the confidence that you can improve your eyesight. Maybe you get off this video class and go talk to your doctor or your relative and he tells you he doesn't exist, he doesn't work. If work out for you and tell you a lion will never teach you to fly. Your doctor may be a lion in his practice and knowledge, and most of them are very competent. But if he doesn't understand natural treatment or has never heard of exercise, how will he encourage you to do practice? He can't fly and probably won't encourage you to reach biggest flight there he can't hold you back. Now, most of my students get such a significant results that the ophthalmologist himself is often interested in the method. I'm happy with that because the union of the treatments would be the ideal. This is what we seek and believe it will be the future. I get very frequent calls and contacts for doctors interested in the treatment. I have even taken care of some of them, their wives and children. At the time when information is much more accessible, thanks to the internet, you have the opportunity to know about natural treatments, clinical proportions, and yes, a good doctor will be your partner in this. The medical appointments will now check what's better and not only what's getting worse in your eyes. And that's wonderful. And it's up to you, alright? Myth number 3. Genetics is responsible to visual problems and progressive diseases cannot improve. I've published so many cases of students who have improved vision with incurable and progressive diseases. And if you have watched one of these videos, you know that genetics is not the biggest guilt for vision problems. And that diseases considered incurable can be greatly improved by applying the method. A BBC study reported that only 10% of the cases of myopia, for example, is genetic. The other 90%, according to the student, happens because of the inappropriate environment we spend most of the day. And that's very good, because if it was the genetic, only getting born again for you to improve your eyesight, right? But no, there's a much simpler and more effective way. Other studies concluded, for example, that no outdoor exposure is one of the biggest causes of myopia. And how we are educated today cause increased problems. Take a look at the number of glasses in any classroom. You will see already understand that genetics is not the guilt in this process. We are not slaves of genetics as we imagine. And I already published cases with people who have serious disease and get incredible results with the method. As in the case of Joana Fernandes with pigmentary retinosis, Rodrigo Albertoni with keratoconus, Sérgio Siqueira with disease by Stargardt, and Ieda with epiretinal membrane. And dozens of cases with macular degeneration and macular problems. Ilka, Danila, Mario Wunder, and other examples of students you are now seeing on the screen. When we relax and at the same time give the right eye stimulation, I'll talk more about it in the third video class and also in this video when I'll talk myth number 5. But just for you to understand, with the exercise method, we activated cells that had not degenerated but were inactive in the minds of those cells that are enduring. What happens in most cases of serious illness, it is thought that all cells have died. But no, some are still alive, but they are not functioning for lack of stimulation. When stimulated, they are able to activate and often play the role of things that have already died, which is why either the visual field may increase it, for example, in pigmentary retinosis, or when glaucoma has been lost. That's why it's possible to regain a central vision when there is degeneration in the macula or retina, or when the loss is neurological. As we can see in this field exam done by my Eagle Eyes student Eliana Rotundo, who had a visual field lost because of glaucoma. The dark parts show the problem, is where you have no vision, okay? We paired the exam before and compared it with what was done after a few months of stimulation. There were recovered and increasing of the areas that see. See that the black party has decreased considerably. And we did that to Eliana even when she heard from the doctors that her vision was lost. And she confessed to me later that she had not even practiced the exercise very regularly. Using the same logic that genetics alone doesn't manifest our problem, altering some details of the environment and matching vision exercise with our modern life, we solved the visual problems that seemed impossible to be solved, even with the busy life we all have. And here's the tip. Take 5 to 10 minutes break at least every 50 minutes to 1 hour on your computer, phone, read, or television. See, you don't have to stop using your computer or reading books. That's part of modern life. And you're watching me here from your computer or cell phone. They won't hurt your eyesight if you know how to use them correctly. Even if you work with your computer a good part of the day, like me, for example. In these breaks, you can also fit other visual relaxation exercise like some I teach to my students. One thing you can do now, Rotate your eyes, open and blink a few times in each direction. So feel whether it is difficult to have to make this movement. Do not force, just rotate it. Now close your eyes and rotate again with your eye closed 3 times each side. Try to make a very wide, very large movement with your eyes closed. Ready? Now turn again with your eyes open. Do again. Feel that the movement has become lighter and easier? Yes, this relaxes the muscles around the eyes and see how they respond very quickly to any stimulus we give them. My students feel relief from the tension around their eyes with just a few days of visual exercise. By the way, a lot of people have been asking me in the comments about Eagle Eyes training, a method that makes exercise part of your life. Because one thing is you really know that exercise works. Another is knowing how to practice, the ideal time, which ones are specific for your case, and getting them an organized way as part of your routine. This crazy routine that we have today. As I said, I create a system that works for thousands of students, a methodology to put the techniques into practice. Even though you have the life of a woman who works several hours a day, even on the computer, as you can imagine. That doesn't mean I have tired eyes and I lose my sight every day. Quite the opposite. Just like me, most of my students didn't have time to spare, but improved their vision, as in the case of executives Roberto and Wilson Ramos, who regained their sight after a retinal detachment, even though they have busy routine in the office. Or my student Claudette Moreto, trained pilot, yes, that even with a very busy workday, got practice in a visual training routine and decreased the degree of glasses. Another important tip: expose your eyes to the sunlight. And then I need to tell you about myth number 4. The myth that the sun causes vision problem or the sun is danger to eyes. This is one of the most serious myths. This lie we have learned is literally blinding many people in the world. The sun is the light of life. And not sunning yourself or wearing sunglasses indiscriminately is one of the biggest causes of vision problems in the world. I could record a video class over 3 hours here just talking about the benefits of sunlight to your eyes and the benefits of spending more time outdoors. There's no time for that, unfortunately. But let me tell you some research and you understand why getting away from the sun or wearing sunglasses is bad for your eyes. A team of Australian researchers recently reviewed major studies since 1993 relating children's myopia and time spent outdoors. They found that in more than a dozen studies analyzing more than 16,000 school-aging children in total, those most likely to be nearsightedness or to develop nearsightedness are those who spend less time outdoors. Some of the latest studies also found that being outdoors protects even children who read a lot or had nearsightedness parents. And why this happens? Because sunlight nourishes the eyes. And this has been verified by many studies and widely reported in scientific magazines. In addition to nourishing with all colors, yes, sunlight contains all colors. It stimulates the fixation of vitamin D, which is responsible for brain and immune system health, which also helps regulate eye health. Recent research indicates that the sun stimulates the release of dopamine directly into the eyes, which doesn't allow for exaggerate and elongated eye growth as with myopia, while maintaining normal eye size. One layer of your retina has melanin. Did you know that? Yes, and that protects if you were listening to me and hear and wonder, but what's that about the hole in the ozone layer? Your eyes have a natural protection. Sunglasses on your retina, and they can weaken or lose the function if you use artificial sunglasses a lot, for example. Also, remember that I told you in video class 1 that was open and closed your pupils is the iris muscles, and for that to happen, light and dark variation needs to occur. Well, when you spend a lot of time indoors, you don't do the sunning exercise, for example, one of the Method Man exercises, or every time you go out in the sunlight, you put your sunglasses, your iris weakness, your pupils become chronically dilated, decreasing your ability to adapt to sunlight, and also decrease your focus, as a pupil contraction is a part of the process to get objects to focus well, for example. All the improvement cases you haven't seen in this video class and here on this page have stopped wearing sunglasses. They have sun exposure exercise with the eyes closed, like that. And in addition, the other exercise and method techniques are seeing better each day. They do bodybuilding that strengthens vision and at the same time regulates the internal pressure of the eyes, as this movement makes the internal fluid in the eyes circulate more easily, beyond increasing the health of the cornea and warming, allows to be smoother and more uniform. Very important to decrease the degree of astigmatism and regress keratoconus. My student Ieda ended the degree of astigmatism, for example. All that increases blood circulation to the retina, preventing and improving detachments, bleeding, and cases of diabetes, for example, and eliminating blemishes. Even me was extremely dependent on sunglasses, very sensitive to light. It was paying the light in my eyes. I soon left the classes and my eyesight only gets better every day. Don't forget this tip. Don't run away from the sun. Of course, you won't be staring at it without blinking for 2 hours. That's not it. Just spend more time on free, at work, lunchtime, and on the weekends, for example. Don't be afraid of the sun. Your eyes love this wonderful light. And then let's go to the last myth of this video class. Myth number 5, that the eyes only develop until 7 years old, or that the optic nerve doesn't regenerate. That's myth. Well, I think by now you have understood that it's possible to improve vision in any age, and that our eyes are part of the body, have muscles, nerves, blood vessels, in other words, structures that renew and regenerate throughout our lives. If we work out and exercise, our bodies begin to respond and become stronger, healthier, even after adulthood or older age. The same goes for your eyes. The eyes muscles strengthen and develop when they are stimulated, even after 7, 10, 20, 40, 19 years old. This myth is very common and unfortunately often frees a person and prevents them from stimulate their eyes, as they think they will not respond or improve as they are no longer children. This happened to Fernanda Leal, for example. Doctors told her that she no longer could regain vision because it had been past 7 years. She believed that for a long time. But when she discovered the method and tried to do the exercise, she recovered from nerve optic problems and strabismus. Another case that I recorded on video is here for you to access. 12 years old Leah. Leah's mother, Elizabeth, is my student and subscribed in the course. so she could help her daughter with nystagmus, astigmatism, and 3D vision difficulty. Leah, at the beginning of the treatment, had a hard time seeing the blackboard at school. And her mother tells me in an interview, very emotional, how it was difficult for Leah to do the activities at school. She had to crouch down, got close to the blackboard, trying to not disturb her colleagues, read on the blackboard, memorize what was written, then go back to the desk and write what she memorized from the blackboard, and had to repeat it several times because she couldn't read on the blackboard even with glasses. You can imagine her suffering. Elizabeth applied exercise and techniques with Leah, and today she no longer needs glasses because she considerably reduced her degree of astigmatism, regained distance vision until a point to sitting in the middle row of the room and seeing on the blackboard. She doesn't need to crouch down and go forward so she can see. In addition, Leah developed balance of her two eyes with a range point to watch a 3D movie at the family cinema. Cases like this show that it is possible to improve even when the doctor's diagnosis is not encouraging. They even said that Leah would never regain her eyesight, that she would have to look for a job that didn't depend on her eyes, and that she would never drive. That's no sense. The same happens with the optic nerve. That is regenerates. Our nerves are structures that have what is called neuronal plasticity, which is the ability to divide, expand, and create new networks of neurons wherever there is a demand for it. The optic nerve is like any nerve in your body. When stimulated, it will split, branch out, and expand its capacity at any time in life. My student Cassia, with optic nerve atrophy, confirmed to the ophthalmologist that with the right stimulation, dosed with relaxation, neurological problems can improve greatly with the method, even those they have happened several years ago, or from birth, as in the case of Leah, and so many others. Don't let no one say that you cannot improve your eyesight, or that the person you love cannot improve their eyesight, not without even trying. Put the method into practice. We will be amazed at how responsive your body is. And if that eyes that seems completely unusable can come back to work and help your stronger eye, or a vision of figures become a functional vision. Well, I separate here for you to combine with the second class a special video of a workout with 1 hour of exercise, which is here on the same page. Yes, it's time for you to improve your eyesight. Once you are done watching this video class here, you are already playing this practical video and following my instruction, then I'm sure you will notice a difference in time. And I make a challenge for you now. I challenge you to put this 1 hour training into practice now, or as soon as possible, even if you don't believe anything I say to you until now, okay? No need to believe me, really. I just want you to try it. Put into practice and then tell me here in the comments what did you feel, okay? In our next video class 3, I will give you more tips and practice like this. And more than that, I will make available to you a treatment plan. Then you can download. That's right. I will show you, if you wear glasses, which plan to follow, step by step. If you have a serious illness or just want to prevent a problem. If you want to help someone, your child, your parents, patients, or students, or if you have received an unnecessary surgical indication and don't want to go through the operating table. All there, a plan for each of these situations. Describe it for you to get your hands on and start seeing better each day. Well, and in a few days, I will open the Eagle Eyes course registration. which has a very limited registration period. It is a training accompanied by my tutors and coaches for those people who truly want to improve their vision naturally. I will explain more about this in the coming classes, but now I would like to ask you to leave your comment below on this page. I'm reading and answering as much as I can. It's very important. And once again, help me in this revolution for good view. Spread this content in your social networks to your friends, and the people you love also have the privilege you're having to get access to this information and can also improve vision. You may have realized that I have a lot of valuable information in these first 2 video classes, and I will give you even more. There is a lot of people needing to know about these revelations. We have a moral obligation to bring this to more and more people. So spread to the fullest. So go there now, comment and share. See you next class. A hug, more vision is more life. Bye bye.